confidence in him. He's got a lot of confidence in himself. He's throwing the ball exceptionally well, and every time he takes the ball, we have a good chance to win. He does a lot of preparation. I mean, he not only for his body and his recovery and all that, but scouting, knowing how he wants to execute, and he's talented. So those things are generally a good combination.
Good morning, Kansas City. This is New Day with SSJ on Sports Radio 810 WHB. It's Tuesday, May 20th, 2025. Stephen St. John and Jake Gutierrez will have Nate Bukaty for a couple of hours. Jamie Bloomer will be in with us at around 6:45 or so. Mark Borichter, former Chiefs wide receiver, will join us on the phone. We'll also talk to Matt Moore about the NBA playoffs and preview the conference finals. You can listen to the conference finals right here on Sports Radio 810 WHB, as you have three teams that have never won a championship and one team that hasn't won a championship since 1973. Tonight, it'll be game one between the Timberwolves and the Thunder. And then tomorrow night, the Eastern Conference Finals get started with game one between the Knicks and the Pacers. And like I said, you can listen to it already on Sports Radio 810 WHB. Last night, the Royals, they win a bizarre game in San Francisco.
How about those Royals, huh?
And at least they won it, because that would have been a very, very frustrating loss had they gone on to lose that game last night. There were some very questionable things that were happening in that game, some very frustrating things that were happening in that game. Chris Bubich lost a no-hitter thanks to the official scorer, who penalized Michael Massey first for falling down and charged him with an error, and then decided it was a hit. And then Ryan Lefevre agreed with the official scorer, and Rex Hudler did not, and said that a major leaguer should have came up with that ball. And then there was actually, I felt tension in the air. I felt it down in my plums. It sounded like Ryan was not angry, and it sounded like Rex was pissed off, and may have been pissed off that Ryan was defending the official scorer. And so I enjoyed that very much, because I thought it was maybe one of the dumbest things I've seen. You take a no-hitter away from a guy an inning later.
Can you feel the tension in the air right now? I know I can. I can feel it all the way down in my plums.
But at least that official scorer in his mind was defending the integrity of the game. And so because that's what we came to watch. The official scorer just taking over so he could be the headliner. But Chris Bubich went on to pitch 7 shutout innings, ended up, according to the official line, giving up 2 hits, 3 walks, 5 strikeouts, 91 pitches to get through his 7 innings in front of friends and family. And his ERA goes down to 1.47. Daniel Lynch had a little bit of a rough time, but he pitched a third of an inning. John Schreiber pitched 2/3 of an inning, and then Carlos Estevez gives up a hit but closes the game out and gets save number 14. And this game was a nail-biter. It was scoreless through 7. And you're thinking, here we go again. The Royals are going to waste another beautiful pitching performance, and they're going to lose 1-0 like they did on Saturday against the Cardinals. And the whole time you're watching the game thinking, why can't this team score runs? Why can't this team give support to Chris Bubic? What is the problem? It doesn't matter where they're playing. It doesn't matter who they're facing. They can't score runs. And it was the same thing. Great pitching, poor hitting for 7 innings. Until finally it wasn't. In the 8th inning, the magic happened thanks to Vinny Pasquantino, who went deep. I assume because I didn't see it. Nor did many other people watching the game, because technical difficulties over and over and over again. And I'm watching the game, and as soon as Vinny comes up, technical difficulties. And then from the technical difficulties, they go into commercial during the technical difficulties. So you don't know if the inning's over. You don't know if Vinny's still at the plate and there's technical difficulties. You don't know if he got a hit. So they didn't stick with the technical difficulties. Then they went to commercial break. And so you're thinking, oh, so is are the technical difficulties back? And are they done? Or is the game back and they went to commercial break? Or are they trying to fill this time of technical difficulties with commercials? No idea. And then they come back to the broadcast, and Vinny Pasquantino is in the dugout, and the Royals have scored 2 runs. And so clearly he hit a home run. And so thankfully they showed a replay. And for those that didn't get a chance to see the home run, I then reposted it because I saw that the MLB fan account, or MLB X account, posted the home run. And so I can't speak for everyone, but last night and some other times this season, and I've complained about their social media account, very rarely posting post-game interviews with Matt Quatrero or with players. I mean, whoever ran the Bally Sports X account last year or in years past would always put up Matt Quatrero's interview, would always have an interview or two from the clubhouse with some Royals players. Maybe even sometimes they'd have something from the opposition. And selfishly for us, we would use that sound because like we don't have a reporter in San Francisco. Okay? And so we would utilize that sound and we'd play it for you on the air. Or we'd repost it, or guess what? Some fans just like to get on social media and check out to see what the manager had to say. But whoever runs the FanDuel Sports Network Kansas City social media account was probably in charge of the broadcast last night that prevented most people from seeing Vinny Pasquantino's home run. And then had technical difficulties 2 or 3 other times between that point and the rest of the game. And then again, when they had technical difficulties, they would play commercials, and so you didn't know if the broadcast was back and they'd gone to a commercial break. And let me tell you something. Running commercials during technical difficulties, that's diabolical because you don't know what's happening. Okay, are the technical difficulties over and they've gone to commercial break? Or are they just trying to cover up the technical difficulties with a commercial? So I digress. But hopefully I was able to help some people out and show them. Because right now, you in the radio, look at your radio. Stare at it. That's the same view I had of Vinny Pasquantino's home run. okay? And so I pay my money to watch the Royals games, so I feel comfortable bitching and complaining about it. I don't get it for free. I pay for it, and it sucks. And so if I pay for something, then I feel like I could tell you if I think it sucks. And I think it sucks. And I think there's other people out there that pay to try to watch the Royals games, and you probably on this Tuesday, May 20th, if someone asks you, hey, what do you think? I think your answer is it sucks. I'm not going to speak for you. It's going to speak for me. So there.
Well, they did catch it on the Giants broadcast.
Great.
Saw it live.
Yeah.
I was watching.
Watching the Royals broadcast.
I know.
I had no idea why you'd be watching the Giants broadcast,
Well,
but okay.
I'm limited.
You know?
I have an idea.
See, I'm telling you about the exchange that happened between Rex Hudler and Ryan Lefevre,
Yeah.
and you don't know what I'm talking about, do you?
I do not.
Do you know? Did you see the slip by Massey where the ball got through?
I did.
Do you think that should have been an error?
I mean, in the modern day of baseball, it's a hit. I mean, do
you think it should have been an error? Rex
Probably.
Hudler thinks it should have been
he
an
probably
error.
should have made the play. But
Well, yeah, he should have made the play.
yeah,
it
he
was
should
a
have made the
routine
play.
grounder.
Right. But in modern day of baseball, that's.
He called it an error, and then he went back and ended a no-hitter
That's the weird part.
an
for me.
inning later.
Yeah, that's the weird part.
So
I thought it was an error.
that was well. So did
I was surprised they marked it an error. To be honest, though.
but so did the guy.
right.
Like what? What must be going through your mind where you decide, you know what? I'm going to end this no-hitter right now. I'm going to go back and change my decision. And I'm going to make that a hit. Screw the drama. Screw Chris Bubich. Screw history. Who knows if he's going to get the no-hitter, but I'm going to make sure right now he doesn't get it. And look, and maybe I'm wrong, I'll side with Rex Hudler. I feel like Rex Hudler knows more about baseball than I do. So I'm going to go with Rex Hudler. Rex Hudler says it should have been an error, and it was a routine play that should have been made. I'll go with Rex.
They actually, they mentioned the guy by name on the Giants broadcast.
Well, he broke up the no-hitter.
Right. No,
He stepped up to the plate and got a hit and broke up the no-hitter, basically.
Michael Duca.
There you go. There it is. That was just very bizarre that Chris Bubich had a no-hitter through 6, and then he didn't. So I don't know. I just think it's am I wrong? You just got to have I don't know, there's something inside of you that if you're doing that, if that's your job, and you decide, I don't think he's going to have a no-hitter tonight. I'm going to break this up. So, maybe I'm wrong. Maybe I'm wrong. By your guys' reaction, I'm wrong. So I
don't think you're wrong.
I don't think you're wrong.
I think it's bizarre. When I saw it, I was like, oh, he probably should have made that play. And then they scored an error. It's like, wow, that's surprising that they actually scored it in an error. You don't see that very often.
Yeah, but
they
I was
get it
even
right.
more surprised
That he
that during a
changed it.
no-hitter you go back, and that's how the no-hitter ended.
No, it's whack.
That's wild.
I mean,
whack.
part of me wonders if Ramos or somebody from the Giants called upstairs to bitch at him about not giving him a hit.
Well, I'd be more concerned about perhaps
Does that happen
impacting
often?
a no-hitter.
It's not supposed to happen at all, but it happens. At least it did when I traveled with the Royals. It happened. And what you have is usually, and I don't know if the scoring system has changed, but usually each ballpark hires their own scorekeeper. So he's working San Francisco Giants games and none others. So if he's getting grief from the home team, he could be more likely to change it in their favor because you got to deal with those guys on a consistent basis. That's why they're not supposed to call up there. I mean, it's supposed to be a big no-no. So I'm not alleging that it happened, but I wonder if it happened because I know it used to happen when I was traveling sometimes. Some guy's having a bad season, really needed a hit, and the scorekeeper gives him an error, and somebody will call him, what are you looking at? That was a base hit, blah, blah, That happens sometimes.
That'd be something.
That's the only thing I can think of because, like you said, for him to go back, what caused him to go back and decide to change it on his own?
But in that situation,
Maybe
though,
somebody in the press box, maybe some guys in the press box came on and were like, "That's not a error. That's
end this no-hitter right now."
yeah." Some grumpy old sports writers or something. I don't know.
Well, if you heard the broadcast, you heard the disagreement.
Yeah.
And Rex was pissed. You could tell he was not feeling it, and I enjoyed that. I enjoyed that out of Rex, and I don't need Ryan and Rex to agree on everything.
Yeah. Well, it cuts to the core of what a absurd concept errors are in the first place. You know.
I just think in that situation, stick with what you called, especially if your decision is going to change a no-hitter while the no-hitter is still going on.
Yeah.
That seems to me like extending beyond your reach. I don't know.
And it's enough of a gray area play where it's not like it's obvious. Oh, I need to change this. This is obvious. There's clearly two reasonable baseball people who disagreed on it. I mean, he was there. Massey was there in plenty of time to make the play.
Right.
So,
I mean, he fell down.
you know, they used to have the
He
debate.
made an error.
I mean,
Right, but Ryan said, I've talked to enough official scorekeepers that they're not going to rule an error if a guy falls down. I'm like, well, why not?
yeah, I mean, they used to,
Standing up is part of the deal.
you know,
But I mean,
staying
like, why
on-
not?
yeah.
Stand on your feet.
I mean, like, I guess because if you're suggesting that the surface was beyond your control, I don't know. I mean, they used to say the same thing. I remember when guys lose the ball in the sun, like a pop fly, they lose it in the sun and it lands right by them, base hit. And I remember I would go down and why is that a base hit? It was a pop fly, should be an out. Yeah, but he lost it in the sun.
Yeah, well,
Well, that's a pitcher's fault now. Like
right.
the whole concept of an error, I thought, was supposed to be like, did you deserve to get on base, or did you get lucky because somebody made a mistake? You know, like that's the concept of an error, right?
Yeah.
Well, he got bailed out in the seventh inning. Schmidt doubled, so people defending the call. Well, he gave up a hit anyway. But that
not
changes
the first
everything.
hit.
Yeah, that changes everything.
Yeah.
So
Everything.
whatever. But I will tell you this: in the seventh inning, hopefully you saw it, because I don't know. I could say some things, and if you're watching on this FanDuel Sports Network, maybe you saw the play I'm talking about, maybe you didn't. So I'm kind of rolling the dice here. All right? In the seventh inning, Bubic got into some trouble, and you're thinking, oh boy, he lost a no-hitter, now he's going to lose a game. He walks Adames, Schmidt doubled, and so it's second and third, and Fitzgerald's up. Lines to Bobby Wood Jr., makes a terrific play, dishes it over to Michael Garcia, double play. Doubles Adames off third. And this was after Matt Quatrero had been thrown out of the game. And so that seemed like that gave the Royals momentum. Even Rex mentioned that. He goes, all right, now take that momentum and go score. And that was a big moment in the game. Big defensive play. And so the defense picked Chris Bubic up. And then, of course, no. I was going to say, then we saw what happened in the eighth. No, we didn't. No, we didn't. I didn't. I know PR guru Will Gregory didn't. I know some other people didn't, because I had posted I saw on X a whole bunch of people posting technical difficulty. Like, look at this home run, technical difficulty. And we made a bunch of ha-has out of it. Look at this angle of the home run, technical difficulty. Oh, that's the same angle, because there's no angle, because I didn't see it. But I know it happened because MLB posted it. So thank you. Isbell grounded out. India in a really good at bat. India fought. And it ain't easy facing Rogers, because he's funky, he's submarine, he's all, it's just that would not, well, the Giants going into the game have the best bullpen ERA in baseball. And they throw an assortment of relievers at you that they don't let you get good looks. And India, I thought, here I go again, Rex did a great job of breaking down India's at bat as it was going along, just hang in there, and kind of taking us through it from a hitter's perspective. And India, that's what they brought him over for. A long professional at bat where he spoiled a bunch of good pitches, got the right one, and drilled it for a double. And then Bobby comes up, and bam, when he hit it, I thought, gone. And it wasn't. Did you guys see that?
Mm-hmm.
When he hit it, didn't you think it was something like, as soon as I go, Bobby! And then caught. What the hell was that? I mean, seriously, when he hit, I thought, 2-run home, let's go. And so let's have fun with it, okay? So then Pasquantino comes up, and I'm waiting. I'm okay. And I was getting ready to text you, I think, and say, dude, Vinny needs to come through here. Because he's had some times when he hasn't come through. Like, he's got to come through.
Yeah.
This is a big deal for Vinny right here.
3 blatant ones.
Come on, Vinny.
Last week.
Come on, Vinny. And as soon as I grabbed my phone, technical difficulty.
Oh, boy.
No way. There's no way. Right now? Okay. Commercials. And so that's when I'm thinking, he is lined out right away, and now they're in the commercial break, and they're changing innings. Because there wasn't enough time for something else, And the lengthy commercial, and then they come back from commercial. It says technical difficulty, and then it goes back, and then he's in the dugout, and he looks like he's happy, and then looks out two, and then they're talking about his home run, so I know it happened, and then they showed it, a replay, and he got a hold of it, didn't he? And so he hit a home run, I think. I'm sure. I'm looking at the box score. He hit a home run. 2-0. And that was big. But then the Giants scored a run in the 8th. Royals added a run in the 9th. Big clutch hit from Kyle Isbell to score Garcia. And then somehow Renfroe got caught in a rundown. So I'm going to tell you what. The Royals have trouble scoring runs, and the Royals have trouble running the bases.
Big trouble.
Because Blanco got picked off, and that's what led to Q getting thrown out of the game.
All year long.
Hunter Renfroe, like brother.
Yeah. Dude.
I don't know how much longer you're gonna be on this team, and if you are on base and you are involved in something positive, don't do that. Don't do that. But then Estevez makes it a moot point and shuts him down in the 9th, and the Royals win. So there was a lot packed in. You saw a really good pitcher's duel for the first 6 innings, and then just all hell broke loose in 7, 8, and 9. And I don't know how, depending on how legal your stream is, depending on what broadcast you were watching, depending, I guess, on what part of town you're in, you either saw all of it, you saw some of it, or maybe you saw none of it. I don't know. But what I can report to you is the Royals won 3-1. And that was a good win. And they don't waste a great pitching performance from Chris Bubic, and Vinny Pasquantino comes through with a gigantic 2-run home run on the road against the Giants, against a good reliever, against a good baseball team, and gives the Royals a huge shot in the arm.
How about those Royals, huh?
And there was a lot of things going on around it.
Yes.
But they got through it. And most of you saw it. So it had to be super exciting to see him hit that home run.
Oh, it was.
I saw Jake post something about it. I said, well, he saw it.
Yeah, I did.
No one else on my timeline saw it, but Jake did. So, and I'm not like, hey, look, I'm just one of you. I'm just living life like this, trying to watch a Royals game. And I know you're if you saw it, you're probably not shut up. If you didn't see it, you're empathizing. You get it like, I invest time and watch this game, and
Oh,
then
it's a big, exciting
the moment. Then nope,
big exciting moment.
no. And we're not going to post anything on X either. So screw you, people to pay your money, because it ain't free.
No, it is not.
People.
No.
All right.
No,
If you're watching it, legally, it's not free. Okay, I can't speak for illegal viewers. I'm talking about if you did it the right way, it's not free.
I mean, it's legal. I bought it on Amazon.
Yeah, sure you did. That knock at your door's coming, buddy. I am not the one who knocks.
It's private property.
So all I can tell you is it happened, and let's just be glad it happened. Whether you saw it or not, it happened. Attaboy, Vinny. Attaboy, Pasquatch. We'll take a break. Back after this on WHB.
I'm representing KC. Yo, this be the one them called Tech 9, and you're listening to New Day with my man Steven St. John, man. Always love on Sports Radio 810 WHB. Let's move. We just make it so you must erupt. Ain't never been no lucky.
Welcome back to New Day with SSJ on Sports Radio 810 WHB. We invite Jamie Bluma into the studio. Bluma, good morning. How are you?
Good morning. I'm good.
Happy birthday.
Thank you.
How old are you?
5'3". 5'3", same as you.
Happy birthday,
Oh,
man.
no.
Not yet.
I'm a young man.
Close.
No, I'm
Sunday? Was Sunday your birthday?
How old
Sunday
am-
was, yeah.
Hey, how old am I?
52.
You were
I'll
born
be
in
52.
72?
52.
Yeah.
52 pickup. Let's go.
Yeah, not a monumental. 53, blah.
Hey,
So your 72 birthday too?
Correct.
See, it's my brother, 72.
Brother. What are you?
80.
80.
76.
You're same as my brother.
Look at
Okay.
that. Look at
Hey,
that.
it's another year on this planet, man. Good for
Yeah,
you.
true. Another
You know?
trip around the sun. Survived it.
You did.
Another trip under the sun.
Under the sun, around the sun, beside the sun. All the above.
Bill is a wonderful listener of the show, but is chastising us right now.
Oh, Bill.
What's the matter with Bill?
He reposted MLB scoring changes and says that play was scored properly. The scorer called it an error, took time to watch the play again, then properly applied scoring rules. There's an official scorer's manual that tells scorers how to rule almost every situation. Massey's situation, pop-ups in the sun, etc., are literally covered in the manual. Your beef is with the manual, not the scorers in San Francisco. I don't have a beef with anyone, but I'm a big fan of common sense. And Massey overran the ball, like Rex Hudler said.
That's right.
That's
right.
It was a misplay, and that's why he fell. And I think that should be an error. And so I'm not a stuffed suit that is a slave to an antiquated set of baseball rules. And so I have free will to have an opinion on a play that I see, and I think that Massey should have made the play. And I think Rex Hudler sees a bunch of baseball, and he thinks he should have made the play. So there. I'm not a robot that's going, oh, no, must say hit. No, I should have made the play.
Should have made the play.
I can disagree with whatever I want. That's the fun thing about doing this show. I disagree. Sometimes I disagree with rules. I disagree with all kinds of stuff.
Us?
I don't agree with it. You know?
I think it's just surprising that they would go back and make it a hit and a no-hitter.
Well,
That's
that
what
tells
doesn't
me-
make any sense.
that
Like,
tells
come on,
me
leave
somebody-
it alone. Leave it alone.
Somebody said something to him. Yeah, consult that manual. He slipped and fell. It's not
MLB
a-
scoring changes. This is what Bill referenced, and I love you, Bill. I love you.
Thanks for listening, Bill.
But the tone of your tweet wasn't the best. So maybe my tone's not the best either.
It's always hard to detect tone.
Right. But I got time for it today. All right. I had a bad day yesterday, bad night last night with the weather and everything else.
Oof.
I've had it. Hopefully everyone's good out there because that weather sucked yesterday. And there was a lot of bad hail and rain and flooding all around, and nobody likes that.
Trees down.
And houses damaged, and that's
Brutal.
I hate that.
Brutal.
Yeah, we got roof problems now.
So I'm a little edgy today.
Yeah.
All right. MLB scoring changes says it's in the OS manual, and it says a fielder missing a batted ball due to a slip, due to bad footwork or wet grounds doesn't constitute a misplay and is not to be scored an error. While folks want to moan about the scoring, the OS manual is terrific because it takes the guesswork out of plays like this and allows for consistency, and it is a product of the MLB scoring department. But I can still say that it's wrong, and I think it's wrong. And
Well,
so,
I like the fact that bad footwork. Well, whose
Yeah.
fault is the bad footwork?
That's
and so,
ridiculous.
so
Like,
someone
what?
answers it.
That is ridiculous.
Someone answers it and says, but in this, and this is what I agree with, but in this case, he didn't misplay the ball because he slipped. He slipped because he misplayed the ball.
Bad footwork.
Overrunning it was a misplay. And he slipped trying to reach back to compensate for his mistake. That's an important distinction, or at least it should be. And so then MLB, I'd love to know who this MLB scoring changes guy is. Overrunning a ball isn't an error either. So if the manual says it, then no one can argue. So, yes, there might be with the manual.
What is
Whatever.
an error?
Where is this manual?
I don't know. I have a cousin named Manuel. I don't think he has anything to do with it. Ask him.
Manny?
He didn't really watch baseball, but he just
No one can.
I don't know. I think it's an error. I think the Padilla made an error. I don't know. So
I love the fact that overrunning the ball is not an error. That
Right.
bad
I mean, that's
footwork's
the
not an
epitome
error.
of-
Like
that's
what
epitome
is
of
an error then? Like what?
Ridiculous.
The concept of an error is just so dumb in the first place. I mean, like the reason that you have it is theoretically because you want to give a score to what somebody deserves.
and see, like theoretically to me, it just doesn't make sense that if you so badly or if you misplayed a ball because you misplayed the ball,
Right.
then that takes the error out of the equation. But you misplayed it.
Yeah, you got to screw up the right way.
You literally made an
Yeah,
error.
you
You literally made an error.
erred in your ways.
Right.
In the
Bad
tr-
footwork would
in the
be like
know what I
an
mean?
error.
truest sense of the word.
It's like
Yeah.
Right.
so. This is why I say, can't we have some common sense here?
Well, you got it right the first time.
right.
And
Correct.
again, it wasn't
And
like
leave it
it
alone.
wasn't like field conditions with this
No.
dealing with rain and everything else. It's like, footwork. No, it's not an error. Like how? That's
Bizarre.
No. Okay.
What like the
I'm spending too much
sure-
time
Nah,
on this.
but it's-
I'm sure if
it's-
you ask Massey, he was like, "Yeah, it's an error.
Well-
I misplayed it."
Why did they come up with the concept of the error in the first place? What's the point of it? What are you trying to do when you decide whether or not it's a hit or an error?
I mean, earned run, unearned run.
Yeah,
right?
but like
Batting average and unearned runs.
you're trying to give the people on the field what they deserve. Did he deserve to get to first base because he got a hit, or did he get to first base because somebody screwed up? Right? Like that's it. Did the pitcher did they earn the run? Right? Did they get it by getting a good hit, or did they get it because the defense didn't do well? And like, did the pitcher? You're trying to reward the pitcher too. Does he deserve to have that run go on his ERA or no? That's what you're trying to decide,
Sure.
right? So on a ball that's hit like that, does that runner deserve to get to first base on the merits of the way he hit the ball?
No.
What did you think? You know
Error.
more about baseball than all three of us combined. No matter what Nate says.
What
do
you said,
think?
it wasn't raining. The field conditions weren't wet. He just misplayed the ball. Error.
So you agree with Rex?
At the time, yeah. Well, I mean, I can't believe you go back and give a hit when there's a
But
no-hitter
the
going.
manual says to.
Well,
I mean,
whatever.
That manual
That's the
is
common sense part of
insane.
it for me is leave it alone. It's a freaking no-hitter.
I would lean towards what Nate's saying, that someone called him or walked over there.
The manual says right here that bad footwork.
And that's like one of the things, like some of the stories you tell and some of the stuff I hear
Yeah.
about
Oh, it happens.
Some baseball people turn me off about the sport, that are, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
What am I trying to say here? Just like,
the mindset. There's an element of selfishness in baseball. We talked about this earlier because
More than a little bit.
yeah, because your individual stats are up on the board as soon as you walk up to the plate. And I can literally remember a situation where a player was mad because he was given and he thought he deserved a hit, and the scorekeeper gave it an error, and he was struggling. And it was like early in the season. It was like April, and he was like, "That's 30 points on my batting average." And I was like, well, right now it is, but by the end of the year, it's like a point. Like, like if you play the whole season, but that right now
But
it's 30
right now.
points, And they, like these guys, when they walk up to the plate, they look at their stats, in center field, and they see they're hitting 190.
I'm
and
just like, I'm just like even the mood when you go out and cover baseball. Like in,
yeah.
in my life,
yeah.
there's always been this I don't know,
Staunchiness.
very condescending. And that's just my personal experience covering the NFL and covering the Chiefs has been so much a better experience than covering baseball and at times covering the Royals, just for how I was treated, or just for, and I'm not talking about now. Like, in my opinion, and whatever, I know the guy and I like the guy. I think Sam Mellinger is terrific. All right, he's one of the best people I've worked with when it comes to a major league franchise, and I think J.J. Picollo is terrific, and Scott Sharp, and this is a really good group of people to work with the Royals. Wasn't always like that.
No.
Is what I'll say. Wasn't
No,
always
it
like
was
that.
not.
Okay.
No, it was not.
And I've had great success in my career working with the Chiefs. There were some spots. Guess what? It wasn't easy to cover the Chiefs because there's some people there. And we can all probably just think about, I wonder who it was. Guess. So, it's just there's a thing with baseball, and like people get so, we're just with a manual and unwritten rules and this and that. It's like
And written rules.
So written rules and this. It's like something like we watched this, we just saw it,
Yeah.
and that's why I really appreciated Rex last night on the broadcast. He represented the frustration, I think, of fans watching that, and and he represented, and some people will push against this when I mention Rex, because I like Rex. He pushed against that idea and represented common sense.
Yeah.
And Ryan, I like Ryan too, but Ryan was rushing to defend the official score, and Rex goes, "No, that's a routine ground. You a Major League Baseball player makes that play. You got to make that play. No. And Rex is not interested in hearing about your manual or anything else. You're a ball player. You make that play, and I appreciated that. But they're going to go with you, right? I mean, that's if you're a pitcher or you're out there, you're coaching.
Yeah.
I agree with Rex.
I mean, that's an error.
And right now, Jake has no idea because he can just tell you what the San Francisco broadcast had to say. What do they have to say?
What do they think?
I mean, they didn't really go back and forth about it. They just said.
I bet they didn't.
They just said it. They made the announcement that it had been changed, and they said, they said the guy's name, Michael Duca or whatever, and it's a really tough job he's got, making that decision. It's a tough decision to make.
That is true.
The timing of the decision is what I thought was weird. I mean, if he ends up giving up another hit later on, and then you say, okay,
he
we'll
did,
change
but
it
still that changes the. You know
Correct.
what I mean?
That tells me that somebody talked to him.
Yeah, I mean, the Giants broadcast did
Somebody talked to
reference the slip. It's like, his slip, I see why, he slipped there.
Well, it's not raining.
Right, well, and he overran the
But
ball.
why did he slip? Because
he overran the ball and tried to get back to
I want
it.
to talk to
talking
him.
in a
I want
circle.
to talk to who wrote the manual. I do. I want to sit down and be like, what? Why is bad footwork not an error?
Who are we talking
Like,
to here?
isn't part of your job as a major leaguer? And again, that's why HUD's saying a big leaguer. We're talking about this is you're grading these guys at a Major League Baseball standard, not at a Pop Warner, not at a American Legion standard.
Pop
or whatever.
Warner is definitely not going to make that play.
They're not going to change
Well,
that.
you know what? In football,
that is
they
not
don't
an
have
error in Pop Warner.
In football, they don't do stupid like, oh, you know what? Earned completion percentage. Here's Patrick Mahomes' earned completion percentage because they should have caught this ball and that ball.
Drop pass.
Have you seen some of the new?
They're starting to keep track of. Yeah, that's true.
You bite your tongue, sir.
Fair enough.
Nerds are coming.
But
expected yards gained.
Expected yards, yeah, but like, and that's what they're starting to come up with. Like the real defensive statistics that people care about more is not every error is the same. If you have a routine ground ball that goes through your legs versus a hard hit ball that's 2 steps to your right, and that's a harder play. And so they assign how hard the plays are now. The statistics guys like, oh well, 80% of the time that's an out, and he didn't make it. But like, with this one, 50% of the time it's an out, and everything's a little bit different. But in baseball, they came up with this system 100 whatever years ago. But I'm flabbergasted that, okay, let's make it easier for the scorekeepers. Apparently, let's make it easier for the defenders, too, because they're not even supposed to be accountable for keeping their balance or having good footwork.
That doesn't matter.
Like, what?
Footwork
bad
doesn't
footwork.
fall
Whose
underneath.
fault is that? You're the defender.
I can't believe it's written in there like that.
Yeah. That blows my mind. I mean, what are we doing?
I don't know. Needs to be switched.
I don't know.
Who is the manual switcher?
Yeah.
But I'll tell you this.
A bridger.
Did you see Vinny Pasquantino's home run?
I did.
How was it? Was it fun to see it?
Oh, my goodness. I heard it. I listened to a lot of the games on the radio.
Okay, well, then you had the same view as I did because
I
they
looked
didn't
at
show
it
it
today.
But what a moment, right?
Oh, awesome.
And because he's had some moments where he didn't come through. And I don't know if this is going to lead to the offense being more consistent. We might be right back here tomorrow talking about how the Royals only scored 1 run and it's not enough, and because that's the cycle. But damn it, for one night, Vinny was up, and just because after when Bobby was up before him and hit it, I'm thinking that's gone. It looked like he got all of it. And he
You got to get a hold of him in San Francisco.
And look, when Vinny hit it, I thought they're going to the water. And it went like 3 rows deep, like not in the water.
Hoping for a
but that's
splash.
fine.
Yeah.
But what a moment! What a big hit to give the Royals the win and not waste Bubic's start.
Again, I mean, we continue to. This is how every game's playing out. We pitch great. Hopefully, we get a clutch hit. I mean, that was kind of the difference last year. Is I felt like early in the season, everybody was getting a clutch hit here and there. And we were spreading it out. Now it's, not many people in this lineup have gotten a clutch hit. So Vinny's had more of an opportunity than anybody, and to see him against a funky reliever, Rogers, to get a hanger and hit it out there, awesome. Especially it's the Giants. We don't like the Giants.
Did you guys see the stat from Randy Jazerli about winning games, like low-scoring games this year? This blew my mind because of what you're talking about, Stephen, like the trend of, not scoring runs basically while getting good pitches. The Royals have won 11 games in which they've scored 3 runs or fewer. In 1980, when they won the pennant, they won 11 games like that the whole year.
Wow.
They've already won 11 games in which they've scored 3 runs or fewer. That's incredible.
That is incredible. And
you don't feel like you can keep that up all season. Like at some point, you're going to have to score some runs, right?
I said that 3 weeks ago.
That's wild, man.
Right.
It's wild. And that I was almost like,
Well, especially with 2 of your starters going on the
Just
IL.
going to say that, too.
I was almost
Yeah.
shocked.
Oh, God.
that they did come through last night. Like, oh, hey, okay.
Yeah.
And I'm hoping that maybe that takes some pressure off of them, and they know they can do it. And I felt because even though he got it was an out. Bobby put good wood on the ball.
Yeah.
I mean,
Would you sign up for technical difficulties like 25 more times this
Sure.
year if it meant a home run for Vinny
what?
every time?
Guess what? Something tells me I'm not going to need to sign up for it, Nate. I'm going to get it anyway,
Whether you sign
whether
up
I
or
want to
not.
sign up or not. I think signing was when I paid for it. I signed up for it.
Between that and the cable lines getting cut, do you have Spectrum?
No,
Oh,
I
that's
felt bad.
horrible.
Oh, that was awful.
Yeah. They had some major vandalism.
my cords have been cut.
Long time ago.
Okay, and that so I can. But I thought I was immune from this, but no, that's fine. And you know what? I don't need to see it. As long as it happened, I'm happy with that. I'm happy with the result. We'll be right back after this on WHB. What's up, Kansas City? Stephen St. John here, and I want to tell you more about my friends at Kansas City Credit Union, where I have been a member for several years, and my son Richie is a member, and you can be a member too. Kansas City Credit Union has 3 convenient locations, one out by the stadiums. They have another one downtown and one in the Northland right on North Oak Traffic Way. And there's many benefits for becoming a member at Kansas City Credit Union. Free no minimum balance checking, savings account options to meet your financial goals, direct deposit to account for your check or payroll deduction, no annual fee debit and credit cards. They have auto loans with highly competitive rates. They have home, RV, and motorcycle loans at competitive rates. They have a newly updated and upgraded mobile app available for iPhone and Android. And all free 24/7 online banking, online bill pay, and e-statements and remote check deposit. If you work, worship, or reside in Jackson, Cass, or Clay County, Missouri, you are eligible for membership. Kansas City Credit Union. For more information, visit kansascitycreditunion.com/810sports. And when you talk to someone at Kansas City Credit Union, tell them SSJ sent you.